Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and there is only one real piece of news today. Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, were bought by Microsoft for $2.5 billion. So, where do we start on this one? Well, apparently, the sale was instigated by Notch on the basis of he kind of had enough of Minecraft. Now, we know this for quite a while that Notch has been stepping away from Minecraft and working on other things. But he said recently on his blog about the sale that he just got kind of fed up of taking the flak for Minecraft things that, well, were even fairly legit. Like when they changed the end-user license agreement earlier this year, which had a big effect on number of servers. I kind of felt it was a kind of a fair change, but there was a lot of uproar in the internet about it, mainly because the internet hadn't had an uproar at the time. Maybe it was one of the dry seasons for uproars. And he ended up getting a lot of flack for it, despite the fact he had actually stepped away from Minecraft by that point and wasn't really involved. And he said that one of his reasons for the sale was his sanity. And I've got to say, I actually perfectly agree. Speaking of someone with a fairly small YouTube channel, 67,000 people subscribed is not a lot. That's fairly small fries. Compare that to a company that he's the majority stakeholder in, and he's the creator of the game that they really are only known for, Minecraft, being worth 2.5 billion? Yeah, I can understand how his sanity is somewhat fraught. Gotta say, I can't fault him on that one. Now, a lot of people call him a hypocrite because he really can criticise the Oculus being sold to Facebook deal. And yeah, I guess that is true, that selling off to Microsoft of all people after criticising Facebook for buying Oculus is a little hypocritical, but at the end of the day, who else is going to buy Mojang for that much money? I mean, he already had a good working relationship with Microsoft because, of course, he's, you know, kind of... Microsoft have had Minecraft on the 360 for ages. Ages. It's been there for what, years? I can't remember how many years. It's many, many years it's been on there. So they've kind of already had a working relationship with Microsoft. They've got to know people, they've got talking. Whereas, say, the PlayStation version is fairly new. And honestly, would Sony even give out that much money? Sony are actually in fairly bad financial condition, really, actually. Sony have been losing money year on year on year on year on year on year. Whereas Microsoft kind of iffy. They aren't doing great on the Xbox One front, which means they're probably more likely to chuck more money into it to make it do better, because, well, gaming is a very profitable industry, but not if your console is tanking, especially this early in the war. So my guess is that Microsoft have gone basically full damage control, and they were like, right, well, we need to invest lots of amount of money to get the kind of lost ground. So they're like, right, well, we can buy Mojang, and then we can chuck money into Minecraft, and people will come to us. So it makes sense that he sold off to Microsoft. It's the only company that I know of, at least, that Mojang have had a working relationship with that's that long and that's that in-depth. Maybe hypocritical of him, but at the end of the day, his sanity does come first. It's just my opinion, though. Now, what does this mean for, like, Minecraft? Well, there is a version on PlayStation, but I don't expect that to get many more updates. They're not going to yank it by any stretch of the imagination. There'll be all terms and conditions and legal stuff that they can't do there, and also it would be so bad publicity that it will never happen. But I very much doubt that there'll be a lot of stuff coming to it. The point behind Microsoft buying it is going to be to try and buy up the Xbox One. That's entirely what Microsoft is orientated about right now, gaming-wise. They're like, right, we need to save the Xbox One. And making new stuff in Minecraft and exclusive would work. So expect the PlayStation version to get kind of the minimum amount that it needs to update, whereas expect the version of the Xbox One to get that, and then expansions or DLC or something, possibly even just free DLC. They might turn Minecraft into a free thing on the Xbox One. Yeah, can you imagine that? If Minecraft was free on the Xbox One and had a load of extra stuff, it would sell the Xbox One so well. That's the Xbox One, maybe even winning the console war. I mean, Minecraft is big. And if you want to target the demographic that have kind of, well, the younger demographic who maybe were targeted by the Wii, which is now, of course, kind of very different, maybe they kind of want to nick that market out from underneath PlayStation. By chucking Minecraft on there, and then giving it a load of free stuff, then yeah, maybe that's a really good idea. I really do think that this 2.5 billion is literally the saving money for the Xbox One. That's entirely what I see this as. If it's not that, then it's a ridiculously large overpayment, because Mojang have laid their golden goose. They have made Minecraft. But I'm trying to think of any other company that has laid multiple golden gooses. Well, eggs. They don't lay golden gooses, they lay eggs. And it's kind of hard to think of one. I mean, you can think of maybe big companies like BioWare or whatever that produce multiple things like Mass Effect and so on. But they're kind of iterative, and I don't think a Minecraft 2 does anything. So you'd have to make something different, and when you're making things different, then lots of things get involved, and it's very unlikely to go and lay another golden egg. I mean, if we look at Bungie, they may have just released Destiny, which got like a load of pre-orders, but it's getting fairly middling scores on its reviews, and it cost $500 million from Activision to make. So honestly, I don't think that that's really a sign of, you know, more golden eggs equals more golden eggs. So from a point of view of, well, we expect them to produce another game, I think this is a really bad sale. I really do think this is all about getting the original thing, developing it on the Xbox One, and pushing the Xbox One as much as possible. That's the entire way I see this. And let's actually have a bit of talk about the sale, okay? Because this is what interested me, reading all the stuff on Twitter. Reading a lot of stuff from the devs and stuff at Mojang, it seems to me that they didn't know that this sale was coming. It seems like they'd heard the rumour and gone, okay, this kind of makes a little bit of sense, but we haven't heard about it. Because there's a lot of the devs are saying stuff like, oh yeah, we've been sold to Microsoft, let's see how it goes. Which is kind of the minimum. You can't say anything drastically negative about the new boss, right? It's just not the way to go if you want to keep your job. And if they actually, you know, had any faith or had advance notice or had sat down with people from Microsoft and talked about it, you'd expect it to be something like, you know, Microsoft have got our full faith and, you know, we're ready to work forwards with them and, you know, all this sort of promo stuff that's, you know, really, really good. Well, what we're getting is very much a we'll see from Twitter, from all the devs. And that makes me go, huh. And there's also one of the devs has, was it one of the publicity guys from Mojang, has literally just moved from America up to Sweden to just literally found out the news that Mojang was being sold to Microsoft just before he was handed his keys for his new house. Which seems a little bit unfair that he won't give him advance warning, but then again, if you've got a blanket embargo on not saying anything, then maybe I can understand. But it's very much a short notice thing, and one of them did say, we look forward to sitting down with Microsoft whenever that'll be and discussing how we're going forwards. I have to say, if I was organising buying a company for $2.5 billion, even if I was going really tight and don't want anyone to say anything about it, I would, just before they announced officially, I would sit them down in a Skype call and say, hey guys, this is what we're doing, or even if it's just, hey guys, like what you're doing, yes, you're being sold to us, we look forward to work with you, thumbs up. Just to make sure that the devs are on side, it makes perfect sense, but it seems that none of the devs are actually, they hadn't any talk with Microsoft from what they say on Twitter, and that from what we can gather, they didn't even know. Which strikes me as kind of weird, because it's a massive fire sale for something that was $2.5 billion. I'm dubious. I'm very confused. Although then again, Microsoft haven't got the best of relationships with building video games these days. They tend to buy companies and they tend to fail. Or they drive companies away like Bungie, who have now split off, and of course Halo is still owned as an IP by Microsoft. What does this mean for mods? Well, it would be insane of Microsoft to kill the mods. Mods are what have kept Minecraft alive. Notch agrees, and Notch was the one who was kind of initially against modding, but he came around to it. I don't expect them to do anything with mods, surely because it would be just stupid for them to change that. Yes, mods kind of sort of half infringe copyright. Yes, Microsoft are traditionally very strict about their copyright. No, they won't change it, because if they did, that would be so stupid, it would be unbelievable, given that, you know, a lot of servers actually run off a modded API, because Mojang's API, or server system, is nowhere near as good as the mod one. I don't expect Microsoft to change that, because that would just be stupid. There is nothing to be gained there. That said, let's end this one on a bit of an ironic note. Microsoft are very strict about YouTube videos. A lot of their first-party video games or whatever say, you can cover this on YouTube, but non-commercially, which basically means that anyone who's a professional YouTuber doesn't cover it, because if a professional YouTuber covered games that were non-commercial and they couldn't monetize, they wouldn't be able to get money, they wouldn't be able to be a professional, they would stop being a channel. Okay, it's that simple. And Microsoft saying no commercial coverage is kind of them going, we're afraid of the new media, which is how I read it. And then buying Mojang, a company that made Minecraft of which a large portion of its fame is due to YouTube, and, you know, of course, the Ogscast in large, is interesting, considering that Microsoft have a sort of a company policy of stepping back from YouTube, whereas Mojang have a company policy of stepping forwards and going, YouTube, we love you. Yeah. Microsoft's terms and conditions for this sort of coverage do apply to their first-party titles, not to things generally through other other devs-ish. And I don't think they'll change Minecraft again because it is the winning formula. It is such a winning formula at the moment that you don't want to change it. That said, I'm reluctant because anytime I see any company going non-commercial, so no professional YouTubers because we're afraid of you, it makes me go, yeah, you don't have much faith in your product. Rome Total War 2. There you go. I've been EnterElysium, and if you like this episode, please like it, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you want to buy this channel for $1 billion, it's a perfect bargain. Stay shiny.